So I got bored and I decided to look up some random stories about people who enjoyed being under the influence, to say the least, especially in terms of going to a business or somewhere where people has to work and deal with them. And I actually found a place where there's some articles. It's not always right, I'm assuming is where you need to go. But yeah, let's check this out and see what people have to offer, shall we? Alright, so first one here. I'm working the front desk of a 162 room mid-tier hotel and was the manager for the evening, covering both the hotel and the restaurant as they were short a manager. Yep, that sounds about right. Oh god, run-on sentences, holy fucking shit. These people need to work on their grammar. About 8 p.m., I went to check on the front desk to see how things were going and to make sure my clerk didn't need a break. A gentleman walked in and said he wanted a room. I went ahead and processed the walk-in, handed the guest the keys, and explained breakfast and pointed him to the elevators. He walked about 20 feet away and stopped to lean into my houseman like he was going to tell him a secret. Without whispering, he asked the houseman where he could score some weed. Yep, that sounds about right. Hey, that's kind of that dude's job, right? He's the houseman. He's there to keep the house cozy, you know? That's the dude you want to ask. What do you mean? So this seems about normal. I went over and told the guest to hand me his keys because he was not going to be staying in my hotel. Uh-oh. Now there's trouble in Gotham City. He asked why, and I explained that I heard him ask my employee for drugs, which meant he probably was going to smoke upstairs, which then meant I was going to charge him a $200 smoking fee, so I was doing him a favor. Hey, to be fair, if he was going to spend money for weed from a random dude, he probably had enough money to spare, so I think he should have just went ahead and got the $200 fine from him. See, he's not thinking good business oriented, man. You have to kind of set up potential clients in order to, score as much money as you can from them. If they're looking to score drugs, you can look to score money from them. That's how it works. When he started to object, I pointed out that it was very racist to ignore the 6 white employees standing around to ask the black kid where to buy weed. And I don't allow racists to stay in my hotel. See, he also doesn't get how statistics work, okay? Statistically, brothers and sisters get the best weed. Like, that's it. Like, you think I'm about to ask some hunky ass cracker muppet where to get some fucking good gas? Like, no, that's not how that works. I'm gonna find a brother who's gonna welcome me in somewhere and I'm gonna ask him where to get it, because he's got the connections. He's the dude I'm gonna be asking. The dude left, and that was the last we heard from him. He didn't even challenge my charging him for the room he never made it to. This was almost a decade ago, before even medical cannabis was legal here. See, that's not too bad. I feel like the person who wrote this had plenty of experience dealing with these people, but they dealt with them the wrong way. See, I feel like this story could have ended up to be an even better one if he just went ahead and kind of humored this potential client, right? Just give him what he wants, and then don't let his surprised face fool you whenever you're going to charge him extra. And hey, maybe you could have found a good smoking buddy, you know? It's a win-win. Alright, the second one here. Refunds, rebuttals, and rehab. Oh, nice. Those are 3 R's I could totally appreciate being by each other. Alright, so here, a couple of customers are complaining about having to wait for my manager to do a return out of the return window. My manager makes an appearance after 10 minutes. So the customer says, "Do you realize we've been waiting for 10 minutes? This has been majorly inconvenient for us." Well, excuse me, you probably could have planned 10 minutes ahead, but go on with your complaint. And the manager replies, "Sorry, we had a customer smoking crack inside the changing rooms again, and there were children present, so I had to be on hand for that. Don't worry, there's time for me to refund you your $8 gloves before I go and meet the paramedics who are on their way to pick up the guy off the floor." Dude, and this is so accurate, dude. Crackheads will smoke anywhere at any time. Dude, they don't care. They're on crackhead o'clock, man. It's their own time frame and dimension. They have no say-so in the earthly dimensions and desires that we normal people have. Like, how many times I was working at a gas station and I found a crackhead smoking crack while stripping for no reason in the bathroom. And that's pretty commonplace. So hopefully the crackhead got his high out of the way and then crashed, so, they didn't have to worry about fighting him, because crackhead strength is not something to trifle with. So the manager was completing the return as he was doing this, so he handed the cash and return receipt over without breaking his stride. He wished them a good day and heads back to meet the paramedics. Yep. The now humble customers look at each other, and one of them says to the other, "Wait, did he just say a customer was smoking crack inside the changing rooms? Again?" Yep, you heard that right. And kudos to the G'd up fucking manager who's just like, "Here's your shit, homie. All right, you have a good day now." Fucking puts on his gloves and goes to meet the paramedics, just all in a day's work, my friend. Well, these were a couple of funny little stories. None of them escalated in a way that I thought they would, but it is what it is. It's nice and wholesome compared to what I'm used to dealing with in my real life. Or what I've dealt with. I refuse to continue with that shit because I'm going to handle it my own way now. After years and years of doing things by the book and the way society wants you to, you realize some situations call for certain measures, and you just got to handle that shit yourself. But all right, I hope y'all got a quick laugh, and this was something to kind of jog your brain and get it going for the day. But all right, y'all have a good one.